Ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought it was over, just when you thought it was safe, it is time now for Ravenshire Hobby Live. That's right, live right now with my co-host, Kuma,
Hello.
Dorma,
Hi.
and everybody's scared. And of course, I am, as always, the Panda. You can also call me Devin. And today we're trying out something a little bit different. If you're watching the video feed of this, I am very sorry. At this very moment, all you're seeing is my face with a lovely Morgoro background. Kuma, who are you being represented by?
Kuma.
Okay, very good. And Dorma, you're being represented by your Final Fantasy XIV avatar.
Dharma is being represented by Dorma.
That's terrifying in so many ways. Okay, so we're trying something a little bit different. If you've listened to our podcast before, I'm sorry it's been so long. You know. But now we're trying something a little bit different with the encouragement of a scheduling calendar. Did you know calendars are a real thing?
I hear they made those up several hundred years ago. I'm not quite sure why everybody's following it still.
It's amazing. It keeps you on like some kind of schedule with the rotation of the moon and whatnot. But
I think the actual motivation is us like shoving you in front of a bathtub, pointing at it, you and being like, you.
Panda don't like baths.
Basically, they're like Triple H saying like, you.
You get in this bathtub, bear, or else.
Then one of us spits water out of our mouth. It's like,
I'll take it. So, as I said, we are trying something new, a little bit of a different format, and something I hope people actually enjoy. If you're in the chat room, feel free to comment. It'll show up on the screen. If you want a tip, I left the tip jar there because I didn't know what else to put there at the moment. Why? Go over to RavenshireHobby.com. We have a whole website of stuff you can get. That's a great way to support this and any other madness that you deem appropriate, and we're sorry. And thank you. I'm not quite sure which to say there. So first things first, so everybody knows our next convention we will be at is Mini Minicon. You can find it on the Googles. Just type in Mini Minicon. It'll be in San Antonio. We will be there. We will be at many other conventions this year, but that will be the first one for the year for us. Now that that's out of the way, yes, we will be doing a 2018 top 10 show next week because I haven't finished things. Dogs.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
pretty spiffy.
Thanks. So this week, I was just kind of curious. What have you guys been watching, playing? Anything new? Anything good? Good job, Kuma.
This week, no. Everything kind of wrapped up the week before.
So is right now the kind of the lull for everyone?
If you're asking
Burma,
me,
Yeah.
I need to point at my screenshot and be like, look, you're asking me what I'm playing. Points at screenshots. Do you need an answer?
That's a very
As for
good point.
anime or whatever I'm watching,
Yeah.
I have a strict policy that I will watch anime that came out 2 years or so ago, and I will consider it the best anime I've seen in a while.
That's
Like
tremendous.
I saw Tanaka is blissful, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I love this anime. When did it come out? 2 years ago. Great.
Oh, and Mr. Blank says lies. I will say that hello, Robot here. Thank you, Robot. So, I'll be honest. The thing I've actually finally gotten around to playing, since we're talking about things that took us forever to get around to, Final Fantasy 15. That's a game.
I think you forgot a number.
What?
You haven't finished 14 yet, good sir.
No, I haven't finished 14, but I decided to just jump over to 15.
I hear
haven't beat
that's a
2.0.
good game.
You
It's
haven't gotten
Yeah,
the
you're-
expansion.
You even haven't gotten to Heaven's Ward.
Heavens, whata?
Exactly.
Penguin is literally almost level 70. You should be ashamed of yourself.
The squirrel will
started
be
later
level
than you.
70 before I am at this rate.
He started months after you did.
The otter's gonna beat you to 70 at this rate.
Yes, he is.
That
Squirrel's gonna beat you.
That's true.
And as soon as Duck starts playing, he's gonna probably beat you too.
Yeah,
Everybody's beating you.
because I'm addicted. I'm addicted to cooking. I go into that game to do one thing, and that's to cook and play Cactar or Cacpot and
Look, I'm
Triple
fine
Triad.
with that. Just do it for the sake of AFC. That's all I ask.
Ah,
Be the business
jeez.
panda. Make all the monies for Kuma and pals.
Oh, that's all I have to do?
Profit.
So that we can
Yeah.
afford a mansion. If there ever is one that actually doesn't get bought out.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that was actually a thing we were doing. Okay, well, that's good to know. So, so on that note, I do enjoy Final Fantasy 15. You know what 14's missing? A car for me to drive around in. Yeah, we'll go with that.
And boy bands.
And boy bands. Yeah. Get some Backstreet Boys stuff going on in there. New kids on the block.
Everything will come full circle once NSYNC joins.
That would be amazing,
I'll
actually.
ask this since you're playing it and trying to keep
Okay.
the plot as concealed as possible for those who are like Panda and haven't played it yet.
I keep getting lost.
Fantastic. How much time have you put into it so far?
Way too much because I keep getting distracted by side quests, and then I find these things called dungeons. And
That's fine.
things are way too powerful, but I'm too stubborn to leave.
I will say
Remind me,
this.
are there difficulty modes in that Final Fantasy? I think there are.
I'm pretty sure there are.
There are, but I think I just stuck it on the hardest difficulty and said forget it.
Okay, I think I did the same thing, so I kind of know what you're going through.
Yeah,
Have
well,
the giant kitties yet?
Huh?
The big corals, giant electric cats.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I fought
Yeah,
them.
those are fun to fight, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I actually really enjoyed it.
I will say this. You're a lot better off in that game than I did because I was like, I'm going to explore this world. And then I got to that stupid pinball machine and I was like,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right. I literally spent 2 to 3 hours doing that. And that's the last time I played Final Fantasy 15.
I'll be honest, I did that once. I did the same exact thing. I did 2 to 3 hours on that stupid thing. And then I remember I paused it for some reason and Seth walked in and I said, "Hey, is there any point to that stupid pinball game?" And he goes, "No, I don't think so." I was like, "Okay, great." And I went back and played it some more. And a total of like 2 to 3 hours sunk into that. And I was like, man, I got something out of it, but it was eventually, it pretty much became useless almost instantly. So I was like, well, there's no reason to do that. So the next day I saw it and I went, I'm going to play this one more time just to see. And I sunk another 2 to 3 hours and I got nothing that time. So yeah.
I was like, at least the music is good.
Oh yeah, the music was really good, actually. Yeah.
I was like, it's too epic for pinball, but I will accept it anyways.
There's no such thing as music being too epic for pinball, good sir.
I can think of a couple songs off the top of my head.
That are too epic for pinball?
No, that would not make it epic.
Oh,
Or make it too epic.
the chicken dance. I don't know why that came to mind.
Sure.
That would do it. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah. Anything else? Anybody got anything else?
I mean, I can tell you a game that I haven't bothered to beat yet.
Okay.
So, probably 3 or 4 months ago now, Valkyria Chronicles 4 came out.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. You haven't
I
beaten
own it.
that?
Nope. I think I'm like 3 chapters away. Just can't be bothered.
Did it just get boring or something to you, or?
So, compared to the first Valkyria Chronicles,
Okay.
this one's just a lot cheaper with its enemies. The enemies aren't worse, they just like to cheat more. So the semblance of fairness of, oh yeah, I can go through this situation pretty reasonably okay, just kind of gets thrown out the window about halfway through. And it just becomes a bit of a slog.
Fascinating.
Well, that's weird because like when you were showing me it, you literally would send like 2 people in. And you'd be like, "All right, captured, done." It's like, what?
I mean, you can still kind of do that later on in the game. You just have to be a lot more careful about where you run them. And that's the problem.
My gosh. That's
Otherwise,
Hmm.
it's still a good game. It's just some enemies, especially the boss type enemies. It just feels like you're not getting a fair shake against the bosses.
Ah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
that would make sense. I could see that. I could definitely see that for sure.
Let me give you a prime example.
Yeah.
So, a mechanic throughout all the games, and including this one,
Mm-hmm.
while you're moving, enemies get to shoot at you while you're running around.
Okay.
Unless you're aiming and shooting at them, they will shoot at you. One of the boss enemies has a turret attached to him.
Oh god.
During his turn, his turret has reactionary fire on everyone else around him.
Okay.
Which means he can just kind of drive around, and anybody he comes across, he'll just kill instantly.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Jesus.
so it's just
Yeah.
If it wasn't that it was just getting free kills and that the bullets are practically armor piercing, can just kill a tank like that anyways. It's aside from that, it's a great game.
All these cheap ass mechanics are ruining my experience. It's a good game.
It's a good game.
Top
Oh
11.
look,
of
I'd
my
recommend
Final
it to
Fantasy.
people just to put them through it because I want to watch them deal with it.
Oh, speaking of games, and tanks, I do have a question about one that I know you've played, and that's the Girls in Panzer game.
Yes,
How?
I have not bothered to beat it as well.
Congratulations! I'm glad to hear it. See, I just, yeah, I got nothing for you on that.
So
I
it's actually surprisingly good.
Hmm.
It's done more for tanks than Battlefield and Call of Duty have, quite frankly.
Okay.
When you're getting turret rotation speeds and all that good stuff,
Uh-huh.
they take that into account. It's just not on top of a swivel at the end of the day. So tank destroyers and all that good stuff. You have limited lines of fire, and I appreciate that. They even got armor angling built into it, if I recall correctly, too.
Really?
Yes. The silly part is you can drift your tanks. And it's practically a required mechanic of the game is drifting. So
I love the idea of drifting tanks in that game just because it makes me think of my favorite scene from the Girls in Panzer movie with the tank driving and drifting.
Movie or the show? Actually, both.
Both, but really the movie is
Yeah.
the one that did it. It's the music that went with it that I just
Yeah.
I loved so much. And yes, Penguin did say Initial D Tank. I would totally play that. But more so than Initial D Tank is Initial Dog, which we all know I would play.
Yes, which is best tank.
Best tank is Dog.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this. Okay.
Did we ever really talk about Persona? Has it been so long that we never talked about Persona?
like Persona 5?
Yes.
The DLC announcement or just in general?
The game itself.
Yeah,
Who
it's
here has
been-
beaten it.
I
Yo,
think all of us have.
You
beaten
actually
it
beat it, Kuma?
more than
Oh, yeah.
once.
Really?
Hey, I beat it.
Yeah,
Well, it
Penguin's
didn't
keeping
have a
track
month,
for us.
That was a lull.
I think
was able to finish
Penguin's the podcast historian now, by the way.
it.
So
well,
I'm
mean,
gonna say no, we haven't.
I was gonna say this isn't the Persona 5 podcast, is it? Because I mean,
We could go into
For a little while.
I guess it's up to it's
because we need a
honestly-
historian, Penguin. Yeah. No, he's right. Yeah, we haven't. So, do you guys just want to give your thoughts in general? Just kind of some general thoughts. We'll get into it detailed later on.
I super loved it.
I did too. Mostly because to me, and this only became very apparent after the fact, I swear it has some level of relation to Persona 2.
Oh, to be honest, I've never played Persona 2, but I've heard about that Philemon, I think his name is. that like secret super boss.
Penguin wants to talk about the Persona 5 UI. Penguin, what messages would you like me to give the universe?
Did he ever come around to that? I know he hated it for a
Oh,
good
he
long
still
while.
does. Don't worry.
Okay.
The UI?
Yeah.
It's
Like-
too
because
stylized for his
it's
robotic ways.
Yes, because it goes against design principles of UI. Because it's what is it? It's hard for people that are dyslexic to read. Am I
like
getting
the
that correctly?
combat UI or
No,
No,
just
the menu.
menuing and whatnot.
Yeah, the menuing.
Oh.
It's super confusing for that type of thing. Am I correct? It's style over
not.
substance. It looks amazing, but it does not lend itself for usability. You got it, Panda. Thank you. I knew he'd get around to it. I forgot we're on a delay. Sorry.
I didn't see any problems with the
But
menuing and all that.
I understand what he means by it. It has to do with it's stylistically beautiful, but the substance of it does not lend itself to being helpful as a menu.
I don't see the problem because I ran into no problems with it.
Hey, I'm not defending that argument. I refuse. I'm just stating what the Penguin said.
I know, but
My point being regarding the menu system specifically.
We know what menus look like.
Issue if you were constantly in and out of it. But you
That's
spend
true.
so much more time actually roaming around than actually in the menus.
Well, that's a good
it
point.
doesn't give itself an opportunity to be a hindrance at the end.
Well,
of the day.
to be fair,
Yeah.
you good sir are in the menus far less than anybody else that played the game because you refuse to use items.
Yeah. You also expect me to get coffee, and I don't know what's up with you there too. So.
Look, Sojiro is best girl. I don't care what anybody says. Now that I will defend, good sir.
I
You have a
will- I
fantastic
do-
beard, but
I do love how they kind of went Catherine with the game with like coffee. It's like, let me explain. Like give you like
And
coffee
they gave you
facts.
like useful coffee facts. I learned more. I feel better as a coffee drinker for having played that.
I feel just as ignorant because I ignored all of it.
Also, best girl, go. Best girl, go.
Sojiro.
Makoto.
Kawakami is the right answer. Teacher is the right answer.
Sojiro is best girl, good sir.
Teacher is best answer. It sucks because like I'll admit like I I actually backed down super hard on the teacher like at first, and I went with the doctor. But
Doctor is reasonable.
doctor is super reasonable. She's the romance one. I didn't go full persona nerd and went, I'm gonna romance all the girls because I had this gut feeling that it would come back to bite me in the ass.
And it did. Kinda.
No, it's perfectly reasonable.
Well, I'm not.
Hey, I'm just
I
sad you
don't
couldn't
wanna-
romance Sojiro.
I even if I wanted to be curious about what the gameplay looks like, I'm the type of person that's like, I can't do it. I really can't. I gotta stay true to one girl. Also, if you're dealing with multiple girls, that's basically asking to kill yourself because you're just like, I gotta focus on you, and I gotta focus on you. Just rip me in half, and y'all just figure out which half y'all want, which one's the better one.
I don't think that's how halves work, first off. Second off,
No, you.
look, Sojiro is best girl, and you all know it because Sojiro makes coffee, therefore best girl.
He does give you chocolate. I will give you that.
He gives you coffee.
He gives you chocolate also.
Yeah, who
I
cares?
got Valentine's Day chocolate out of Sojiro.
Yeah, but that's not important. It's the coffee. Look, I'm on a coffee-based system here, okay? Real quick, I'm going to start playing because the reason I think Persona 5's on everybody's mind
Yeah.
is probably wow, is that not showing? Will it not let me play a clip? Nah, it won't let me play the clip. I'm gonna have to figure out how to gimmick that later. And I will gimmick it.
Also, how do you feel about Persona being in Smash?
Well, that's the clip I was trying to play at this very moment
Oh.
below me. And
Ruh-roh, I ruined it.
no, you didn't, because I don't think anybody can see it on that side because I
No,
don't think it's
nobody
going to let
can.
me
No, I can't.
do YouTube through it. That's fine.
No, it's fine.
But
But
I'm playing the trailer. I can see the trailer. It's very pretty. I like the trailer.
I know.
So, yeah, how do I feel about it? Personally, I think Joker in Smash. I don't think anybody saw it coming, but
No.
to me, something about it's very logical.
And somebody pointed out something that made me curious and
Yeah,
super curious about it, because they say if Joker's going to be in Smash, then maybe Persona 5 for the Switch?
Highly likely, yeah.
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 I don't
I
know if
mean,
And I would be
get more
super
releases.
curious if they do like a different version for that. And I'm gonna push and pray to God they do the whole male female thing, because I mean Persona 3 Portable is like a almost lackluster version of it, all things considered.
mm,
But I want to see option. Want to see the option. Do
yeah.
I be lesbian or do I let guys inside me? I want to figure that out. What it's like.
You want to struggle with concepts of sexuality via virtual realms or something?
I
Think that's where we're going with
Sure.
this. Yes?
Say I
Possibly.
don't know. What if I want to be pretty girl? Make myself pretty girl. I can't afford surgery, so I play video games to make myself feel pretty.
Wow. Wow, dude. That's I'm just going to say wow. Um
I don't know what's going on
okay.
in my mind
I don't
lately.
even know where to go from there.
Congratulations.
You broke the
To the
panda.
next subject.
No,
Or
I was
shall we
going to
keep
say
talking about Persona 5.
so my thing about Persona 5, so there it was also announced the Persona 5R, P5R. And
Yeah.
Penguin says we love you no matter what. Um
Shut up, Penguin.
so I think Persona 5R. Now I texted Kuma this. I messaged him this like in the middle of the day when I figured it out. And I think P5R is not like a new version of Persona 5. I think it's Persona 5 Racing.
So the only
P5
reason I would disagree with that statement,
Go on.
if it's a kart racer at the end of the day,
Yeah.
there aren't enough vehicles. Not everybody can be inside the bus, because at that point it's that really bad Mario Party.
Yeah, I understand that, but everybody can have their own cart. So my thought is it's like Diddy Kong Racing and how Diddy Kong Racing was, but with the instead of just Diddy Kong Racing, it's that the Persona style gameplay with that.
Hmm.
So everybody can have their own, stylistic cars and stuff. Because how odd would that be in the world of Persona to have a bunch of people have cars?
No, I just had this thought process in my head, like all the Persona 5 cast is in carts, and all of a sudden that giant pig from Diddy Kong Racing just swoops by. It's like, race me! I'm the main villain. It's like, what's going on? And you're
I mean-
basically racing a giant pig who's just running.
How awesome would that be? But it can work. Like that's the thing. It could work. Because because just think
I
about
just
what
don't see how Persona the idea more than the
What?
idea with the Persona coat of paint over it.
Well, I guess the reason I'm saying that is just imagine think of the very first castle, okay? And think about
Okay,
that
yes.
entrance. Imagine doing a
Stronger.
race through that castle. They could make that track work. And not only that,
I mean,
but
they have hero for maps. I'll give you that.
they're good on that. And I'm saying the final boss of that level, how difficult would it be to turn him into something that's like giant and running, and you're just trying to drive around him and past him?
He's going to be
that's the-
spilling a lot of wine, but you can try.
I'm just saying, hey, there's your gimmick for that race. Try not to slip on the wine that's being thrown about.
And then at the end, Toad appears and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, your princess is in another castle."
Yeah, On's in another castle. No? Nobody? No?
No.
No? Nope.
no.
Okay.
Come
All
on, you'll
right.
get one clap. Okay.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. Panther in a Power Wheel style Jaguar. That would be awesome. I'm for it. I think it can happen. I'm just putting it out there because nobody else has called it. And let's put it this way: Persona 4, they got a fighting game. We got dancing
Yes.
games for 3, 4, and 5 now. How out of the world is it to really say a racing game? Why not?
Oh,
It
no.
just
Look, the only thing
fighting makes sense. There's lots of combat happening in Persona.
Mhm.
Rhythm games make sense. The music's pretty good in Persona.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I think Persona, I do not think about racing in general.
You didn't think about racing during all of Mementos at all?
No.
Okay, so I did, and maybe that's my problem. I've been hit in the head a lot too, so let's go with that as like an actual concept. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there as far as the racing game idea. So if it does get announced, I'm gonna go called it, I win, and that is it.
You'll get a single clap from me that day.
Okay,
Until then, I am withholding your single clap.
yeah, okay.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait till you get to the top of your stairs, and I'm literally going to be like, I'm gonna make it look like I push you, but it's gonna be the Ryu body pillow, so it'll be like, ah,
Ah.
and then I'll videotape it, and like it'll be it's gonna sound like you're like falling down the stairs, like, oh no, I'm falling down the stairs, or, ah.
Perfect.
That'll be the perfect commercial for Ravenshire Hobby.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will take it, I think.
Everybody loves bodily harm.
I'm starting to get the weird mind thought, like that one of my former, like, classmates in like my video tech class had, where it was like he did this weird ass black and white commercial of him like looking all horrified, and then like it was like a mystery, like a murder mystery look like whatever, and then all of a sudden it's like shows a Coke can. It was a freaking commercial for Coke.
Brilliant.
I'm starting to have, and I made fun of him a lot. I'm like, man, that's so dumb. And now I'm just like, that was genius. You can sense the art in this commercial. I see a YouTube screen. Are you?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I did it. I
Don't
made
you
it
dare.
work.
Don't you dare!
Do it.
Don't do it!
All right, so now that I got this working, now we can move on to our actual topic.
No!
That's an appropriate response for this
I'd
topic.
rather talk about Persona 5 than this.
Everybody would. So I have a topic for today, and to start off this
Street Fighter
podcast.
5.
Huh?
The topic is Street Fighter 5. Let's go.
No, I am not starting that because I refuse to be captured on video with the. They know what they did.
No, let's talk
No.
about Kage.
No, we will
Let's
not.
talk about Kage.
Who? Nope.
Underbite
Nope.
Ryu.
Nope. No.
And we'll say this.
Yeah.
Are you at least interested in story mode for that game?
Street Fighter 4 had a great story mode.
Nah, for 5.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't care about the story mode?
I don't know what you're talking about. I
You
look
don't
forward
care
to
for
the day
spoilers?
when Street Fighter 5 comes out. I look forward to it. But until then, yeah.
No. I'm just gonna say this, since you'll probably never pay attention to it. Kage's story mode is basically him beating up people and then them telling him that he's lame.
I
And then he
like
goes to-
look.
He
Kage's
goes to fight Ryu, and
Uh,
then Ryu just like how he beats him is he's like super chill, and that makes Kage like go away or whatever. He's like, no.
Hold on a second. You shut your mouth, you dirty penguin. And also yeah, I mean Kage was a great character in Virtua Fighter. He was the ninja in Virtua Fighter and I absolutely loved him.
They put Ryu in Virtual Fighter. They put evil Ryu in Virtual Fighter.
So, moving on
I'm
to the
still
topic
waiting
I
for
was
the
going to
day
go
when
to today.
Disgruntled Dan. I want disgruntled Dan.
Everybody wants disgruntled Dan.
Ree.
We got evil Ryu, violent Ken, disgruntled Dan. Anyways,
Surprised they
so
haven't made that.
I'm gonna play a trailer of something. Some of you people that are seeing this may remember this lovely trailer.
It's a little small, if you want my opinion.
Excuse you, sir.
Well, the screen is.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, fine. Then I was about to try and. How in the world did this happen? I don't know if I can. Can I make that bigger?
It's small, but I saw like that little virus thing flying, and I'm like, I know what this is.
Wow, that is bizarre. That is fascinating. I'm learning so much about this thing
Streaming?
today. Yeah. Anyways, better. So what I wanted to talk about is live action movie adaptations.
Oh, hey, there we go.
So live action movie adaptations. So this is a good example of when it's done right. The Resident Evil movie.
Because it was its own. Never mind. Just go on with your
No.
stupid.
No. Go
speech.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the reason why you say it's done right is because it was kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
This could have been literally like, hey, it's its own separate thing that happened. And even with the stupid kung fu stuff with Alice, I'd have been super cool with it. But then it goes, oh, hey, by the way, this takes place before Raccoon City, and the next movie's gonna take place before Raccoon City. And it's like, oh, so you're basically going to character rape all my favorite characters. Good.
And I love it when people do that to other people. It's so great. It makes you hate things. My point is that is what happens when you do it right. This, however, is what we've recently ended up with.
I will say this about the Resident Evil movies. If I'm sitting there for an hour and a half literally screaming at the movie for being bad, that's not a good sign. Also, wow.
I am now looking at the Full Metal Alchemist live action trailer. The reason I wanted to talk about this particular topic is because I forced myself to watch this entire movie.
Why are they Japanese?
If I have to explain.
Why are they Japanese?
Because that's where
Are they supposed to be like English or something?
No, I don't think so. Were they? If they were, I don't remember that.
Edward and Alphonse, I would assume so, yes.
Yeah, Hohenheim and whatnot. So.
Oh, I saw the
European.
dog.
So that's actually why I want to talk about this, is specifically that. As everyone knows, I am a sick bastard. And I find...
If you don't know that yet, congratulations, you just learned something today.
And it's important here on
Why
out.
is the Devil Trigger theme playing in my head as I'm watching this trailer?
Because it fits better than anything else they could have ever put behind it. The reason... I love that it's in the trailer too. The reason is because every time I've seen the dog girl scene, I don't care whether it's in the manga or it's in the... oh wow, there's 2 more trailers that could be absolutely god-awful if I played them. It doesn't matter whether I've seen it in the anime or the manga. Either version of the anime with the dog girl, I've laughed hysterically every time. I have found great comedy in this.
Brother Ed.
It worked better because you kind of had a record scratch when it happened too. I've laughed every time at that. But then they do the live action movie, and I actually got a tinge of... What do people call that stuff?
Arousal?
Nah, not that one. The other one.
Emotion?
Yeah, that one. Emotion and sadness. At seeing that done to like an actual boy, an actual girl and a dog.
That poor dog.
That poor dog. And I'll be honest, I really felt...
Stupid kid corrupted that dog. With its
exactly. That was such
a
a sweet dog. It really was a sweet dog, and I was like, I think the dog had the best acting because animals don't know it's a bad movie. So animals give their all. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, my point is that when it was a live action dog, I actually felt something. Do you think and maybe I'm just crazy, do you think that there is a possibility that there are certain things, when done in live action form, actually work better than the animated form if that was the source material?
It it's hard because it's also based on the fan base, you know.
Yeah.
Like the fan base is like, oh, we like this one thing, and when people like, I don't know, some people try to take their own creative approach of it, like say Resident Evil,
Yeah.
Paul W S Anderson
Did a good job
taking his own creative approach to the whole series.
with Mila Jovovich.
Uh,
I do love me some Mila. I think she's a great actress, though. I like
God,
her
I
in a lot
won't.
of things.
She is a good actress.
Yeah.
I will give you that.
She's a phenomenal actress. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Then again,
It's
I'm
just-
also the same person that loves Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, so take it with the grain of salt needed.
No. I get it. Like she's a good actress. It's just when her name is attached to her husband's
Yeah.
work, I just go, ah,
Mila gotta
ah.
Mila gotta eat.
When I found out like she married him, I'm like, wow, that explains all those nude scenes of her.
Well, I mean, okay, to be fair, I will say this. To me, there's something very sweet about that. Because it's like the man, he's told, what do you think is beautiful? My wife. I mean, okay, first off, he's smart. Second off,
Yeah.
it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
There is a certain level of like, oh, that's sweet.
But
Yes.
there's also a level of, okay, it's been 4 movies. Stop it. Stop it.
And
Stop
it just
doing
shows
that.
love never gets old. True love never gets old.
Uh,
But I
But
also,
the person does.
also,
I
haven't
don't mind
seen the
that if you've ever
quote-unquote-
noticed.
I haven't seen the quote-unquote the last movie. Or the final, like,
the final
movie to the
chapter
saga.
or whatever. No, I never saw it either.
Yeah. But I've seen the one before that.
3?
And
The
that was
third
the
one or the
one-
fourth one?
I don't know. It took place in, like, Antarctica or whatever. Everything was frozen.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
And,
about
like,
that.
Friggin' Michelle Rodriguez came back, I think.
Yeah,
And
there's
she
like,
was like some stupid super zombie of sorts.
mm,
And Jill had the stupid like Resident Evil 5 look, except she was like more stupid character. And Ada Wong was there, and she looked too Chinese or something, or too Asian.
that is the weirdest
And-
statement I've ever heard.
And I'm like, and at these points, it's just like Mila Jovovich's character for Alice. Yes, that's her name. Alice is pretty much like, I am the character you depend on. And even Ada Wong, who's like, in the games is known and capable of taking care of herself, is like, oh, I guess I'm too stupid. Alex, I'll follow you. And it's like, shut up. And then in the third one, when she had psychic powers and all the crows that were going to attack them just suddenly bursted into flame. And it got so bad to the point to where Paul W.F. Anderson was like, all right, I guess in the next movie we'll just immediately take that crap away.
And let's never do it again.
It's like, yeah, I made my stupid dumb wife character OP. Too OP. Besides, Wesker's much better, and I
Yeah.
haven't seen too much of it, but I think they actually nailed Wesker down a bit. Also,
Well, they did. Speaking of nailing down, you know what movie did it the best? I think Super Mario
Monkey.
Brothers, the live-action movie.
Monkey. That was like the first. Wasn't that like the first video game movie?
No, there were some before that. There had to be.
What was like the first one?
Does anybody know?
Off
mean,
the top of
Mario
my head,
Brothers
no.
might have been the first big one.
I was gonna say, I bet like Tetris didn't get one. I'd be super shocked.
That'd be
I,
amazing. I've always wanted to know more about the backstory of L Block. And right squiggle and left squiggle, you know there's some things going down there.
Oh yeah.
all I care about is straight line
the
and Square
wizard.
Block's relationship.
I mean, the Wizard's less an adaptation and more a game, or a game. God, that would be a terrible game and confusing. It
What
would
was
be.
that- What was that one game show on Nickelodeon where they played the video games? It
Oh,
was like a Strip something.
yeah, I cannot remember. I can't remember the name of it, but I remember that was the first time I ever saw ActRaiser. Was that?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that goes back.
I remember watching that, and like some people were playing Sonic, and that was actually my first time I got frustrated. I'm like, you're playing Sonic 2. You're having trouble. Stop it. I know what to
Stop
do.
playing on the first level. Stop it.
I was
Stop
playing this
being
game.
bad.
But you know, I don't know if I almost want to say Street Fighter was even before the Mario Brothers movie, wasn't it?
I forgot about the Street Fighter movie.
How could you forget? It's great. You know, Street Fighter movie where
Going
they
to
focus on
kick
the main character.
that son of a
Guile.
bitch Bison's ass so hard.
I know, right?
The next Bison wanna be.
But here's the good thing. At least we got Mortal Kombat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what?
Oh, actually, no, you're right. May 93. Penguin says he's looking things up. He's our historian and fact checker. He's saying Super Mario Brothers was the first video game adaptation movie in May of 93. Street Fighter was December of 94. So, yeah, Mario, again, there you go.
I will say this, even though it was like PG-13, Mortal Kombat is probably a good example of how you can make a good adaptation of like a video game / anime.
The Mortal Kombat live action? Thought it was R.
Yeah. No, it was PG-13.
Was it PG-13? I don't remember.
Yeah, that's why you didn't see people getting their motherfucking heads ripped off.
Yeah, you did.
No,
Don't you
you
remember?
didn't?
Yeah, Johnny Cage and Scorpions fight.
No.
Johnny Cage takes that freaking shield and cuts his
him a
head
little.
off.
No, he doesn't.
Cuts
He
his head.
cuts the part of his skull off.
Yeah, and blood gushes out.
Yeah, but that's not like gore. It's like stupid like lava ketchup or something.
Lava ketchup. Stupid. If we have learned nothing else today,
What
Mortal
was it made out
Kombat,
of?
stupid
You didn't
lava
know?
ketchup.
Yeah, lava ketchup.
Lava ketchup.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
stupid
what it
color.
looks like.
Lava ketchup. I'm gonna just keep saying it so you understand
The
what
smarter
you
you
said.
are, the more stupid lava ketchup you have.
No,
in your
I'm
head.
sticking with my statement. I'm going with it.
Has to condense somewhere.
But no, it was PG-13.
Was it? Man,
Yes, it was.
I've been hit in the head too many times. Who knows at this point?
I do. I'm saying it right now.
So here's the real question then. As I play it, the Pokemon Detective Pikachu,
Yes.
what realm of movie will this fall into? Will this be along the lines of the first Resident Evil or Mortal Kombat, or will this be closer to Mario
I will say
and Full
this.
Metal Alchemist?
It is kind of weird, like Ryan Reynolds being Pikachu, considering like his more familiar roles that he's with. He literally just got done playing like Deadpool,
Yes.
so it's gonna be weird.
I mean,
But I have
yeah.
high hopes. But at this point, I've gotten to the point to where if I put too much hope in it, it's gonna suck and I'm gonna be pissed. But so I'm just kind of like, I want it to be amazing, but at the same time, I don't know what to say.
yeah. I agree with Penguin. Look, the universe wanted Danny DeVito as Pikachu, and it didn't happen. Now, I will also agree with Penguin on one thing. There's only one or two ways this movie can be. It's either going to be amazing or it's going to be terrible.
Yes.
It's going to
And I
be
think it's going to be divisive at the end of the day. Extremely divisive.
really.
Yes.
Well, it's gonna be weird too because you had those people that were getting really, really, really pissy about like some of the Pokemon having fur.
I don't understand
Like-
why they should.
Like, they were like,
Exactly.
like
divisive.
there were some people
Okay.
that were just like, "Hey, that Jigglypuff has fur. It's not supposed to have fur." It's like, shut up, shut up.
Hey, they nailed Mr. Mime.
Oh yeah, they totally did.
Now that we can all agree on. But
Yes.
this is one of those movies though that okay, even if it does end up divisive, I think even there will be some people that will still enjoy it as a movie, because I
Yeah.
mean there's also part of it, and maybe it's the Psyduck scenes. It could end up being very Howard the Duckish.
Huh.
But then again, I'm also a fan of Howard the Duck, and I have no room to talk about anything. Um, and I do agree with Penguin. Pikachu would look terrifying if it had latexy skin.
Yeah.
Imagine if they didn't have fur and they were just like flat. It would, God, that would be creepy. That would start to look like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. From Did anybody know besides me on this podcast? I know I've subjected Penguin to this. Kuma, I know you know about this. Don't act like you don't.
Look, you said a lot of words, and it's not enough to pull anything up in my memory.
All right.
No, I was
Go
gonna
on,
say the no, I was saying the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie from like '89. Because Roger Corman was known for doing these really terrible movies. He was the project manager of directors. It was always on time and under budget. That was his goal for all movies he did, and he directed I think more movies than anybody else at one point. Like he had the record for that just because of how many he did. And it was like none of them, but they all made money because if like X number of people went to see them, they made their money back, and they were done so cheaply nobody cared, so they let him keep making movies. And so Roger Corman, the Fantastic Four movie became legendary. Oh my gosh, I type it in and I find the entire movie on YouTube in like 2 seconds. For a while, Marvel had like supposedly gone out there and taken all the copies out. It never actually got released, and it's just been sitting in vaults. And then, of course, torrenting comes around, and it becomes widely available to everyone. But the movie is just special. Let's go with that word. It's look, I've seen costumes that you could buy at Kmart at better quality than some of these. I'm gonna go ahead and play a selected clip on our screen here for everyone to witness, because it is something that needs to be witnessed.
And imagine with like a low budget suit, it'd be like, I believe, my good sir, that is clobbering time. Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh,
My
it's
name is Dr. Doom, and I'm going to conquer the world.
It's
I caught a fish this big. It was wonderful.
I agree with you, Penguin. A movie adaptation of Jet Set Radio would be absolutely amazing.
Well, is that Kiefer Sutherland as the Human Torch?
It might be. It might be. But like I said, on time, under budget, this didn't cost Marvel crap. Look, they decided not to release this for so many reasons, but they did release the Captain America movie from this era, and that was one thing. But when they released the second one, where he rode a motorcycle and had the shield on the front of the motorcycle, which they made a nod to in the recent movies, but
wait,
there's the thing. Oh yeah, the thing is ooh. How do you feel about that?
Looks a lot better than the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles.
You know
Again,
what? Yeah.
Not saying a lot, but okay. We're going to fast forward this a little bit. All right, everybody in now. Now it's time for the big scene where they take the Fantastic Four ship out of headquarters and fly it to Latveria to defeat Dr. Doom. Wow, look at that tech. So, anyways, yeah, I think that scene right there, I'm just going to pause it on that, and you can enjoy that scene in all its Fantastic Four glory. So, yeah, so there's always that bar it could try to match. Now, the sad thing is I do think there is a movie adaptation that's coming out in the near future that is going to actually match this.
I don't think it's gonna match, but it's going to.
It's going to try
parallels.
Yes, and that's Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't think there's.
I will say this, and I'll keep saying this no matter what. As much as a Sonic fan as I am, or I claim to be, I think it will be okay. I don't actually think it's going to be too bad. There's just one thing that always worries me, and it kind of makes me nervous about it. At the top of the poster, it says, from the producers of Fast and Furious.
Well, Sonic is both Fast and Furious, as we know.
I know, but when I don't see anything else like producers of. I would rather see from the producers of Two Girls One Cup
Oh God, no,
than see producers
No.
of Fast and Furious.
no, 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 you don't.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
you don't. You
Yes.
don't honestly want that.
I would.
Ugh. Wait, are you
You
going to
let
go
a
on and tell me how
DeviantArt
that
and
was
come tell
very
me-
well shot and the artistry of it? It doesn't matter what was on the screen, but from a production standpoint, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Go
Don't say,
friggin-
don't agree to that.
Go friggin' see all the Sonic DeviantArt porn and then come talk to me about purity and
Look,
sanity and all
look.
that crap.
As somebody who regularly ships Slippy and Pigma, I am not. I
Not
am
about
not
that.
afraid. But for the sake of Twitches,
be.
yeah.
You will be.
Look, the only thing I've ever heard good about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is if there was the potential of the Iron Sheik playing Eggman.
God, I forget how the conversation went in the car.
I forget how it even started. I mean, it was terrible.
Starbucks doing a bamboo one day.
Oh, that's right. Otter.
Well, I remember we had our own little conversation about it, and we actually caught up some good lines. Like, Mark, I'm gonna make it home. It's like, hey, Doctor Eggman, what do you think of Sonic wrecking your robot? It's like fucking bullshit.
Eggman going to take you, put you in camouflage, Baba. Don't worry, he take care of you.
Fuck him in his asshole. Make him humble.
Make him humble. Okay. Oh my gosh. And I think at that level of insanity, Penguin was chiming in, the Roger Corman Final Fantasy, Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. The Human Torch was played by Philip Van Dyke, most famous for playing Arnold from Hey Arnold in seasons 2 and 3.
Corman made Spirits Within.
Yep, that's a different level of terrible altogether.
You
And-
know what? I have yet to actually see that movie, or have any.
You know what?
recollection of it
I
at
have
all.
never been able to watch that movie all the way through because I have always fallen asleep at different parts. That's saying something, considering my love for Mystery Science Theater and riff tracks, especially, the really bad movies. Yes, because you're a robot. That's why you liked it.
Speaking of Mystery Science Theater, I've
Yeah.
been watching. I've been binge watching episodes whenever I'm off. I think the last one I saw was Escape, or The Escape.
Oh, yeah.
People are trying to destroy the Bronx. And
Yes.
I've been laughing my ass off at that.
Oh,
one
it's
the whole time.
tremendous. So,
We would like you to leave the Bronx.
So I think at this very moment, with the Iron Sheik references and the delving into now Mystery Science Theater discussions, I think it's time to wrap this up and maybe jump into some Final Fantasy XIV if anybody wants to stick around and take a look at what we do in there, which is equally chaotic, and I'm very sorry for that.
Wait, you're actually gonna play Final Fantasy 14?
I figure it's a good after show routine to get into.
I'm gonna spend the next 3 hours watching Panda cook.
You're not wrong. You're not totally wrong. Anyways,
I'll wrap up this show.
Huh?
I'll give my comment on a question that was raised a good while ago,
okay.
then subsequently forgot about, because Resident Evil movies came up.
Oh!
Yes.
The question was, do you think it being live action actually added anything?
Oh yeah, that was the original question we started with.
Yeah, don't worry. I've been repeating
Hold
it
on.
to myself the
Final
entire
Fantasy
time.
needs to fuck off. Final Fantasy needs to fuck off right now. We need to hear this.
Yes, go
The
on.
answer would be no.
Okay.
Because if that were the case, Planad would not have a hold over you. Good
Shut
sir.
Damn
up!
it.
Shut up!
He's
shut
right.
Up, shut up! Shut up! Stop saying that anime exists. I'm not saying it's bad. I just
God,
don't want to remember it.
Just watch a grown panda cry.
I yield the stage, good sirs.
That was expertly done, as we have come to expect from Kuma. So, on that note, I am so sorry on that note.
Stop
But
apologizing.
I feel like I have to.
Stop
glad
it.
I made everyone sad.
Wow. God. So, can I ask a question real quick? Did we learn anything from today, from this episode, Dorma?
I learned that Resident Evil movies still exist, and I need to see the final chapter, you bastards.
You're welcome. Kuma, did we learn anything today?
A panda is capable of counting backwards from 15 to 14.
That was tremendous. Okay, today I learned that I do have emotions. I'm a crazy person, and no, I didn't learn that. I knew that all along. And that everybody here should go over to RavenshireHobby.com. Take a look at our new products in stock, because seriously, there's a lot of them. Follow us on all the social medias, and thank you once again for listening and watching our test episode of Ravenshire Hobby Live.
Produced by Two Girls, One Cup.
Oh, you were
And now for our Ravenshire hobby to be dead. Because we're no longer live.
You're a terrible, terrible
Except for the
person and should
Final Fantasy
apologize.
part. And no, never.